Remember that game Colony Wars on the PS1? There's about 3 different Colony Wars games on the console. There's space shooter games that have flight combat going on, pretty much the space version of Ace Combat. And for the time, truly ambitious, and you get to hear even a good old knockoff James Earl Jones in the first game.
Tsar and his battle fleet saw everything, knew everything, punished everything.
Psygnosis was putting these games out one by one, but there was one game though that was a spin-off of Colony Wars, and it's called Blast Radius. If you pretty much just take all the story out of the Colony Wars games and just have the gameplay, that's what you get with Blast Radius. Psygnosis was kind of going more for a get in, get out approach here. I'm a huge fan of flight combat games, so whenever I see games that I've never tried before, especially from this era, I definitely give them a shot. I snagged a copy of Blast Radius a couple years ago to Game Store for like $5. I finally was like, you know what, let's play a little bit of this game, see what it's all about. I definitely have some things I want to discuss too about what I experienced in this game. Sit back, relax, let's go over Blast Radius for the original PlayStation. Blast Radius was released in 1998 for the PS1 in PAL regions and 99 in North America. It was developed and published by Psygnosis. Psygnosis was a big developer back in the 90s, and they made a lot of titles for the original PlayStation. They made the Wipeout games back in the day, and everyone knows what those games are. They made stuff like The Adventures of Lamix, a platform game on the system. Piggybacking on what I said earlier about this game, it's a spin-off of Colony Wars, and really, there's just no plot to this game. There's an FMV opening, and then the game starts. The controls are definitely unique with this game, and you have to get used to them on how they work. But the D-pad will move you. You can use the left stick if you want to with DualShock, and it's not too bad. It's a little loose, but manageable. X is your primary weapon. Circle is your secondary weapon. Triangle is to switch your secondary weapons. You can hold the square button when you want to lock onto an enemy target. R2 is how you increase your throttle to go faster, and L2 is to slow it down. L1, R1 helps change your perspective. Holding L2 and R2 can do your turbo, and holding L1 and R1 can scale your radar in and out. Your objective is very simple. You play a mission, you complete the mission, you move on to the next. There's about 10 missions in this game, and they're all sorted out with 4 levels apiece. When you start the game, you can do single player options, all that stuff, and whenever you go to single player, you can choose multiple ships, and kind of nice to have a few variety of ships here. They all differ a little bit, but you just select your ship and you start playing the game. Whenever you jump into the game, your HUD has a lot going on here. Bottom right blue meter is your shield, and then the red one beside it is your main health. Below is the second weapon ammo. Your bottom left shows your radar, your score is at the top, the meters about your ship that are on top. So what's going on here is the one on the bottom is your throttle speed, and it'll show it when it's filled up that it's fast. All the way low, it's slow. Your middle one is your fuel. This one's important. If you run out of this, your ship will blow up and you'll die. You gotta kill other fighters, and they'll have drops that happen, and you can get like ammo, supply, health, as well as shields, but also fuel. Fuel's the purple one, so those are very important. Before every mission, you get a mission debrief, and it'll kind of give you a rundown of what's happening with the mission and your objective, even though there's no story. And Jesus Christ, man, the text speed is insane, so you gotta be a very fast reader. You do get upgrades in this game, like shields, weapons, lasers, all that stuff, so pretty nice touch. You usually are gonna be shooting fighters that it's asking you to kill, which you can really just kill any bad fighter in the game, or protect a friendly ship. It's usually one of those two things. There's 2 ways to fail a mission. You can die by either losing all your health or running out of fuel, or the last way is you fail the objective, like protecting a ship and it blows up. If you die, you go right back to the title screen, yet if you just fail the objective, you just start where you left off on that mission. That's kind of weird. So about that, whenever you die and you didn't get a chance to save, well, you pretty much start the entire game over. You only can save on the 4th level of every mission. So basically the last level of that mission, that's the only chances you can save. That is incredibly inconvenient, let me tell you. And probably the most annoying thing about this game, you just have to be really good at these kind of games, because sometimes you go into a mission on your first time and you haven't done it before. Well, I mean, if you get shot down by a fighter, or if you get caught in the freaking blast radius, no pun intended, of another ship, you die and you go back. but it won't do that if you fail the objective. That's just lousy. I also wanted to mention saving in this game in general. So normally you see your save blocks right on your memory card. Well, every time you save the game, it always creates a new file. You can't overwrite your existing one, so you have to go in manually, delete the old file, and create a new one. Now what the hell is this? I've never seen a game on this system do this before. This is ridiculous. As far as variety in this game goes, I mean, you're pretty much just going to be in space most of the time, and you see the same ships every single mission just about, and you shoot them down. Then you'll sometimes see bigger ships, and I mean, they look kind of cool, but the variety is definitely lacking. As far as difficulty goes, I think overall just fighting against other fighters is easy, but protecting your ally ships can be tough. They don't have a lot of health, they get pounded by the lasers of the enemies, and if you're not quick enough, you'll fail the mission. It definitely just depends on your skills at these kind of games on how difficult this could be. After playing this game for a little while, I really just can't recommend this game. It's for different reasons though of not being bad. The gameplay is actually pretty good. It plays a lot like Colony Wars. It's got good controls, a little loose with the DualShock at first, but you get used to it. It's got some fun shooting, and the secondary weapons are cool. It's got some good graphics, the music's decent, and yeah, everything looks good, for sure. It's everything else that holds this game back. For one, the saving feature. Now, I know Colony Wars 1 and 2 has this same problem, but in this game, there's just not really much happening here, so it's a little worse in this game. Which leads to the next point, and probably the biggest issue with the game entirely: it's a bland game. The missions are stale. You just kill some fighters, you protect some allies, that's all there is. You do this for 40 levels in the entire game with no context except some bullshit that you see on a debrief screen. No story. And it's kind of the same deal as stuff I've reviewed like Rayman Rush. There's just no reason to play this game. Colony Wars exist. You have the first, second, and third game on PS1. This game was entirely a cash grab by Psygnosis, just for people to jump in and jump out. I do not recommend this game at all, mainly just because it's unnecessary. But if you are dying to see a space shooter and you want to get a little bit of gameplay for like 15 to 30 minutes, here you go. This game is still stuck on the PS1, and it's worth about $10 complete in box all day long. Like I said, no reason to check it out, but if you're dying to see what it is, well, it's affordable. That's all I've got to say about Blast Radius. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have anything to say? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you got to say about Blast Radius, PS1 games, Colony Wars, or what's your favorite soup? Until next time, y'all take it easy.